Hey, I'm Natasha Harper-Madison, back for another quick update. If you were able to join us earlier, you'll know that we popped in just for a quick update. We don't want to waste any more of your battery than we need to. We also recognize that a lot of folks don't have access at all. So we just want to give you some information real quick. Hopefully you have the opportunity to share with some folks that you know need it. Not a whole lot has changed from earlier today, but a quick debrief of what we covered. Hundreds of thousands of people in Austin and millions across the state of Texas right now still don't have power. ERCOT, the agency that runs our state power grid, is warning that this will likely remain the case through the night. Austin Energy cannot conduct rolling blackouts because it has turned off power to every part of town that isn't connected to critical infrastructure such as hospitals or water treatment plants. So people who have power really need to drastically reduce use. We absolutely have to use the bare minimum power, unplug those appliances, don't use anything that's not critical, don't watch TV that sucks a lot of power. Thermostats down as low as you can to keep your family marginally comfortable. We're in my household blessed to not have lost power, but we also are all wearing coats and scarves and gloves and long johns and warm pants and socks and shoes because we can warm ourselves up easier than we can warm up the house. And we really want to do our part to share the electricity. You know, the kids even get it. We got to share the electricity. There's a finite amount available, and the less we use, the more we can share. The chances are, from what I'm hearing, that if you have power right now, you will likely not lose it. So you do have to use it very wisely. I'm trying to think of some other advice and tips that we've gotten. We have some graphics that we've been sharing with y'all on our social media site. We shared it here also. Basically, the moral of the story is the less power you use, the quicker we can restore it to others who don't have it and desperately need it. People who don't have power, try to stay as warm as you possibly can. Close your blinds, close off unused rooms, seal cracks under doors, stay well fed, layer up under warm, lightweight clothes. Turning off your thermostats, turning off or unplugging any fixtures or appliances, only leaving on one light just to help to indicate when power's back on. That way there's not a massive surge when power does come back on and all of your appliances and all the houses that have lost power come back at the same time. If you don't think you can stay safe and warm at home tonight, the city has operated its cold weather shelters. There's a few more that have been added to the list, and I'm getting calls now. So individuals can go to the Palmer Events Center, and families with children can go to the Downtown Salvation Army at 501 East 6th Street. You can call the city's weather shelter hotline at 512-305-4233. That's 512-305-4233. We'll put that number and other important information in the comments for you to follow along. You could also consider staying with friends. We are saying, we all recognize that staying with friends and family has not been advised due to COVID restrictions. We are saying now, if you have the opportunity and the way to get there, to stay with friends or family members who still have power, because they will likely be keeping their power. That is something to consider if you can get there. We are definitely struggling for ways to get people places, if for no other reason. We have to keep in mind that the roads are still treacherous. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. If you decide to travel, please plan ahead. Make sure you have emergency supplies in your car with you if you decide to travel. Chart out the safest, flattest route and try to avoid travel after dark. So, I'm looking outside just with this little crack in the window that we have, just so I have enough light to talk to y'all right now. And I can see that the sun is, in fact, starting to set. So we want to try to avoid travel after dark. Bring extra clothing, blankets, water, snacks, and your face mask if you travel. Once you arrive, you want to practice social distancing and frequently wash your hands. That's either at friends and families' houses or if you find yourself in a warming situation, emergency shelter. If you rely, and this is really important, if you rely on medical equipment such as oxygen machines that need power, call 911. That is an emergency situation. If there's anything that you encounter that's an life-threatening, that includes your life-sustaining equipment like oxygen, and you don't have power, please call 911. They will help you. We have lost very little in way of capacity with our emergency vehicles. So we can still respond to emergencies, which is another really good reason not to gum up that system. Check on any neighbors who need checking on. Elderly folks, homebound folks, people with disabilities, families with small children. Let's just make sure we're doing our part to reach out and be good neighbors, y'all. Let's make sure everybody in our communities are safe, especially folks that you can walk to. You remember, there was a campaign a while back at the beginning of the pandemic, just us taking into consideration the folks that we know might live around us and live alone. Let's be checking on those folks. The Austin area Urban Leagues, Love Thy Neighbor, Texas Drive is collecting monetary donations for various supplies. Front Steps is accepting blanket donations at the downtown arch. You can order blankets online and have them shipped to the shelter. That second thing that I said about Front Steps and blankets, I recognize the irony and saying in one breath you can't travel, and in another, folks are accepting donations. I know that people are walking. There are some folks who have toboggans that are getting places without driving. If that's an option, please do it. We also are going to throw some links in the comments about, you probably have heard about folks getting some sheltering options through Survive to Thrive. Yes, they generally speaking are an organization that is best known for helping folks in domestic violence and sexual assault situations. They do, as a result of the work that they do in that space, have direct relationships with hotels and with the travel and lodging hotel associations, and have been able to negotiate some rates to get folks in out of the cold. So if you'd like to help to sponsor, get some folks in out of the cold, I know that they have a campaign that they're running to get folks in out of the cold. We'll share that in the comments. If I remember correctly, $70 can house a person for a night. We're looking at housing people for 4 nights. So just, do the calculations and share what you're able to. Everybody will definitely appreciate us getting the most people out of the cold that we can. All the links will be in the comments. Keep a lookout for those. Also, that that we maybe don't know, throw that in the comments. Also, some of the shelters that have been opened by Austin Independent School District include Northeast High School and Mendez Junior High School. I just found out recently that Del Valley High School also just opened as a temporary shelter for folks without utilities or experiencing homelessness. And you have to forgive me, I'm getting another ding here. It says we need volunteers for Mendez. We're waiting on a sign-up list. And so when we have volunteer sign-up list for Mendez Middle School, we'll throw that in the chat. I know we were working on getting some cots and some food over to Northeast High School. As soon as I know more about that, I'll throw that in this chat or go live again. Again, we're going to be throwing things in the comments. We need to focus right now on making sure that we get all this, get through all of this together, guys. It's going to take us working together to get through it, to make sure everybody's safe and has what they need. We recognize that this is a situation we've never had to deal with. Our grid has never faced this level of pressure and, frankly, the inability to supply power to us like we need. And so once we get some of these things taken care of, I really look forward to working with my colleagues and the community to figure out what went wrong here. It seems like so many things did not align with our values of equitable distribution of resources and taking care of everybody, people in need, all Austinites right now who aren't getting the things that they needed. We we really are going to have to, on the other side of this emergent situation, figure out what it is that we need to do to be able to get this done better and keep our folks safe. So I'm going to let y'all go. I don't want to use up any more of your battery power. If there are any questions that you have, any resources that you know of that we didn't mention, throw them in the comments. We're keeping an eye on those. So for the time being, y'all stay tuned as much as you're able to. Stay warm as much as you're able to. Stay safe. And, let's lean on each other now more than ever. So if there are things that you need, things that you know about that we may not know about, please throw them in the comments. And we'll try to check in with y'all again as often as we are able to provide anything that's new and that you need to know. Thanks for checking in.